Welcome to the Wealthy Business Goddess Show for purpose-driven, passion-fueled spiritual entrepreneurs ready to live their purpose, passion and prosperity as they create the life and business of their dreams whilst transforming the world, doing what they love and making fabulous money. Each week we bring you inspiring and empowering topics, popular thought leaders to empower you to transform all areas of your life and business. With your host, spiritual intuitive, entrepreneur, transformational business coach and mentor, Kimberly Lovell.
Hello sweethearts, it's Kimberly Lovell here, your host of the Wealthy Business Goddess Show, and I'm super excited to share with you today a wonderful lady, your speaker, Kelly Fernandez. So I want to tell you a little bit about Kelly, and I'm going to squint because I'm having to read this in small print. So Kelly Fernandez is a self-proclaimed self-love junkie, and she helps women love themselves in body, mind and spirit. She's a fitness and nutrition expert, a yoga teacher and a mindset and manifestation coach. However, she feels her real-life experiences of weight loss, food obsession, depression and motherhood is where she can help women the most. She believes that being open and honest and sharing her life experience is where the biggest impact can be made in our health journey. She is the owner and creator of Self-Love Health and Wellness, and her mission is to meet women where they are and to help them make immediate and impactful changes in all aspects of their lives. So welcome, Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
I'm looking forward to hearing your story, and we're going to be talking about depression, we're going to be talking about self-love, we're going to be hearing about how Kelly left a six-figure corporate job to do what she's doing now. So why don't we kind of dive in, and perhaps you can give us a little bit of background in terms of your journey from the six figures and why you left the six figures
to where I am now.
Where you are now.
So it actually starts a little bit even before that, when I started my own health journey. So when I first started my health journey, I weighed 217 pounds. I am a mom to two girls. At that time, I had a little baby and a 3-year-old, and I was working a full-time job and trying to get healthy. I lost over 60 pounds, and after losing the weight and realizing how important my health is, I started to look at my life. It was like I got one thing off my list, and it started to open up and show me what I was doing to myself and to my family. I was in a toxic environment in my job. I am a certified industrial hygienist by corporate standards, which is essentially working to prevent worker exposure, asbestos, mold, chemicals. But the environment that I was in was toxic, and it was bleeding in to all the other aspects of my life.
That's so funny, isn't it? Given that you're an industrial hygienist, working with toxic substances.
Yeah, I know. It was so sad.
Not the toxic, yeah.
And for example, I found myself yelling at my kids in the morning, "Hurry up, mommy's late for work," because my boss at that time, I had to be there by a certain time. There was no leeway, even if I technically did not need to be there at that time. And I remember my kids looking up at me because all they were doing was laughing and playing while they were putting on their boots. And that guilt. So I knew that there was something else. And when I decided to leave my six-figure salary and corporate, it was to have a more balanced life and to be a better present mom and wife, friend, sister, whatever, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, when I first left my corporate job, I left without a plan. And I, at the time, did not know when I left that six-figure that I was in a depression. So it actually took me about a year to realize why I'm really here on this earth and my purpose. And it took me that year to find alignment with myself and to really be with myself and to realize how I feel, how I can get to a better feeling place, and to show up in this world so that I can serve at a higher level. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I'm sure that, there's going to be people that are listening to this, lots of women that, I work with who are in corporate jobs and they kind of feel almost like they've sold their soul.
Yeah.
And, my advice isn't always to kind of take that leap. So can you speak to, because, you can do that if you feel like doing that, that's great. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about what was going on for you? Because I'm curious, like, how did you make that leap? So you hadn't acknowledged that you had depression at that point?
I did not know. I was a walking zombie.
Okay.
And I had actually joined a network marketing company and I was all of a sudden exposed to amazing women who knew themselves, and I had this new support team behind me.
Yeah.
And the network marketing is not for me. That's not what it was. I love the products, and I have this support team behind me.
Uh-huh.
And they started to shine light on the things that I wanted. I just didn't know how to get there. So my advice to women who feel they are trapped in that situation is, yes, make those steps to work towards getting out of that toxic situation, but you have to have a plan. There has to be a plan there. Don't do what I did. Don't just jump without a plan. I am blessed enough that I am married and I have a spouse and we have another income. But the stress that it put on me only put me into a deeper depression. And it wasn't until I started to heal myself that I really realized what it was I wanted to do. And I think when you are working in your full-time corporate job and you are making those decisions and you want to make the shift, I really think you should start looking at your corporate job as a gift. And that job is what is going to propel you into what you really want to do. So that is your income, that is your quote unquote what we say stability, at least in our minds when we're first trying to make that shift. And from there, you can start to build your business in part-time, like on part-time, and figuring out what that is for you.
Yeah.
That's like kind of the first step that I would say.
Yeah. Either way it's good, but I know some people that I speak to and they're kind of like, I can't just leave, so that's what Kelly did. And you can also build your own business. You don't have to do it that way. You can build your own business, in whatever hours you've got, in terms of just kind of figuring out, I think, what you're called to do, what you feel in your heart. Like you had that calling, Kelly, within you. I love how you kind of spoke about your values of, being a better mum, being a better sister, and you just kind of felt that the job wasn't enabling you to be that. Yeah.
Not at all.
So beautiful. Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about how you know that you're being your authentic self? How can we know when we are being true to ourselves?
Yeah. Really, when we are being our authentic self, we are showing up in life the way we want to. Some examples can be, if you're working with someone who swears a lot and they're just okay with swearing a lot and they're okay with being that person. And, I believe your authentic self is like in your heart center, like your authentic self is right in the center of your body. And when you are, and you can be your authentic self in any situation. You don't have to, like leave your corporate job to be your authentic self. You can be your authentic self in corporate, or as a mom, or as a wife. And when you are being true to you and speaking in your power, then you are being your authentic self and being true to you. And I, if that sounds weird, because I remember when someone first said to me, it was actually my therapist, when I first went in, when I realized that I was in a deep depression, and I had been probably walking around 1.5 to 2 years not knowing. I had been doing a lot of personal development at this time. I was doing yoga. I had intuitive friends. So I thought I was being my authentic self. And the first thing she said to me was, "You're not being your authentic self." And it was a dagger. It was like, a dagger in my heart. I'm like, what do you mean? Then who am I? And it was almost as if I didn't know what being your authentic self really is. And I had to step back, and I actually had to take everything off of my table, anything that I was doing, and sit with myself and ask myself how I was feeling. I had stopped feeling the feelings and really connecting with who I was. I didn't want to feel sadness. I didn't want to feel pain. I didn't want to feel despair. But because I was not being authentic and true to where I was feeling, I couldn't feel happiness, joy, connections. I lost all that as well. So in order to really connect with who you are, you need to be honest with how you're feeling. and I'm not saying you have to sit in despair. Heck no. But honoring how you are feeling and being able to recognize it then can only lead you to that better feeling place. And you can make the steps to get there. So for me, when I hear, are you being your authentic self, is are you listening to who you are, how you're feeling, and showing up in this world just being you, and to be honest, not giving a flip what other people think. And that's hard. I mean, that's hard for all of us, but with respect and compassion, obviously. I'm not saying walking around calling people names and stuff, but really coming from a place where you show up and share your ideas. So even if you're sitting in a group at work or a networking meeting and something comes up and you have a thought in your head that you want to share and you don't share it, you're not being your authentic self. You're not sharing with the world what you have to serve. And we need that. We need that so much right now, especially women. We need women to step up to the table and say, whatever is on your mind, share your gifts. And that, to me, is connecting and really being your authentic self.
Beautiful. So tell us a little bit about how you aligned with your authentic self, because you went from the corporate world into the health and fitness niche and yoga.
So while I was working in corporate, I had started, like I said, I had lost over 60 pounds, so my passion for fitness had come back. I was a personal trainer back when I was young and working in school. And I had regained that passion, and really, after I had lost the weight and then realized there was a depression and healed from that, I started to realize how important it is especially for women, to love themselves in body, mind, and spirit. And when I say spirit, a lot of times I mean your authentic self, meaning your true self.
Yeah.
And, to me, the number one self-love action that you can take is moving your body and fueling your body. Because without this vessel that we have, we're not here. So we need to take care of it. And as I was moving through my nutrition and healing, I was using yoga to help me stay grounded. It was the only time in my day where I could clear my mind, be on my mat, move my body, and I started to really figure out how overlapping that mindset and our body really is. And it changed, like that's how Self-Love Health and Wellness was born. It changed what I was doing. I was teaching boot camps at the time, so I was doing fitness. But I realized how important the whole person is. And in teaching boot camps, I realized how much mindset comes in. It's amazing what women say to themselves or about themselves the minute you start measuring them. They start nitpicking on all the things about their body and how awful it is. But it all comes from here. So if we're saying that we're not healthy, or that, you know, the F word, which I say is fat, you know, yeah, that's my F word. Then what you're telling yourself and your body is, I can't change. I can't be healthy. And that can lead into so many other things. A lot of us know how important mindset is, and what you put out into the world, you get back. But just having that mindset can spiral you down into a food binge, right? I'm not going to lose the weight. I'm just going to eat this chocolate bar anyway, right? So it really does affect how how our bodies react. And so that's why when I built my business, I wanted everything to overlap. So even if you are doing a boot camp with me, mindset is built right into that. Right down to manifestation. I'm like, what do you want in your life? It doesn't have to be fitness related. What is it? Is it $1 million? All right, you better be burping like crazy right now, right? So that when women leave that 1 hour with me, they really have connected body, mind, and ask themselves the questions who they really are, and connect all three.
Yeah, I think that our mindset is hugely powerful in terms of our self-worth, our body image, you know, and it doesn't matter what shape women are, because often the whole body image thing and the mindset is just, you know, we get a lot of programming from society around what we should look like. So I don't know whether you can kind of speak to that.
Oh yeah, I wish I could stand up and kind of show you. But another reason why I'm so passionate about fitness and teaching classes and yoga is I am fit, but I am curvy. I have a resting heart rate of 42 beats per minute, so I like to say I'm Lance Armstrong with boobs and a butt. But I want to be the beacon for women to show you that you don't have to look like the fitness model on the front of a magazine, which is so hard to attain anyway. What they have to do to their bodies to look like that is not how the average woman wants to live. That's not how we choose. We choose to, for example, for me, I choose to enjoy life. I choose to have fun with my kids, and I'm not working out all the time. I love to work out. But those are the choices I make. And I want to show women that you can be fit, you can be healthy, but you don't have to look any certain way. I mean, if you want to look like the woman on the front of the magazine, that's amazing, and there are coaches that can help you do that. But if you just want to be healthy and be able to have a healthy heart, healthy lungs, fuel your body, so that you can be here on this earth for as long as you want with your kids or spouse, friends, then that's okay. So I kind of like to be the shiny beacon of, you know, I am curvy, but I'm healthy, and that's great. Again, that's when I speak about self-love. That's why I say moving your body and knowing your body. I'm not saying you got to work out 7 times a week and only eat chicken and broccoli. Like, there are so many different things that we can do to move our bodies and to fuel our bodies to still be healthy, fit, and present women.
Cool. Okay, so I kind of want to talk about how you shifted your mindset from the depression, from you as in the corporate world, because there's kind of a huge mindset shift, right? From corporate to being an entrepreneur, having your own business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you spoke a little bit about the stability thing that often women feel. So, yeah. How did you make that shift? What did you do? Was it going to the mat every day? Is that kind of what got you?
Partially.
Yeah.
For sure, to shift out of the depression, I had to take time to heal myself. And I think there's a lot of guilt that comes with that from a lot of women. I know being here in Canada, and I know you being in the UK, we do have the ability, usually in our work, to take time off to heal. Either we have sick days or we have short-term, long-term. We do have that. But there is this, especially when it comes to anxiety, depression, there's this stigma still.
Yeah. That
taking time off to heal yourself, that it's going to look bad, or your boss is going to think this, or whatever those thoughts come up. So I think first realizing that guilt that you have when you are recovering from a depression, because depending on your type of treatment, it might require you to not work. And that is what the recommendations were for me, is that I had to stop doing everything I was doing. I still taught my boot camp because I didn't have anyone else to take over that, but everything else I had on my plate, I had taken off. And my only job was to shift from how I was feeling to a better feeling. And at first, it was from despair to anger. That was my first step. There was, you're not gonna.
Anger gets a bad press, isn't it? You know, but there are worse things.
But it's higher than despair, than depression, right? And I would journal. So I would get out my journal every morning. I would meditate. So I would journal on how I was feeling. I would write out 3 descriptive words of how I was feeling, and then 3 descriptive words of how I wanted to feel. And my only job in that time was to shift from where I was to where I wanted. And it could be me watching a funny cat video because I just wanted to laugh. I just wanted to feel laughter. Or it could be me going to do yoga, getting to my mat, moving my body, slowing down, and meditation. Meditation was a big one for me. Clearing my mind, especially with depression and anxiety. Depression lives in the past, and anxiety lives in the future. So I was in both realms. I was beating myself up for everything I did in the past, and then I was worrying about things that hadn't even happened in the future. So really what it was bringing myself back to the present moment to figure out how I was feeling and how I wanted to feel, and just relishing in each moment. And I still do that now as an entrepreneur, building a health and wellness business, especially the online live and interactive group fitness. That's very new in this industry. So being kind of the first person to show up on the market with that, it's different. And when you're different, you have to get out there and you have to show up. And I still have to, be present to where I am in each moment, and not start to go into the future, and not start to go in the past. And being present in a moment can be just enjoying the pleasure of a moment. So when I'm sitting at the breakfast table with my girls, I really try to be present with them before my day starts and share what we're grateful for, and laugh and giggle and hug and kiss and relish in those moments. because when you are, those are the moments really why I started my business in the first place. So if I'm not enjoying those moments and I'm in the future, I'm worrying about my meeting, you know, whatever else is coming up my class, then I'm taking away from the whole reason to why I'm here. So when it comes to mindset is being present, focusing on how you're feeling, and understanding how important each life's moments really are.
Yeah, so really enjoying the moment and making sure that you're living according to your values.
Yeah.
Like what's really important to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that because, you know, in corporate, probably for you as you know, mum to young children, you were having to leave early and rush to work, and yeah,
and to not really be home that much for them, because even after I would pick them up from the after school program, come home, I was rushing to make dinner. My husband would come home and then I would have to go to the gym. Not have to, I chose to go to the gym to take care of my body. So there was just these little moments that we had together. And now I have elongated those moments together. I pick them up from the bus and we do homework together and, you know, make dinner together. And yes, then I go teach a class at night.
uh-huh.
But I've had that time with them and I really feel fulfilled, and I feel, and they do too. So I have cracked jokes before about how, I'm going to go back to my old job. And my eldest daughter is like, no, you can't. No, you can't. You can't think like that, Mama. You gotta manifest. You gotta manifest that your business is going to grow even more. So I've even trained my daughter.
Kids are great.
And, you know, and I've seen such a change in our whole family life. It felt like when I was working in corporate, everything was up here and it was just so crazy and rushed. And then when I wasn't, everything was just calm. It's just a calm feeling. And that's really what I was craving for my family, but did not know until it came.
I think, you know, you kind of normalize things, don't you? And kind of, yeah. I know if I think back, and it's a long time back now, but when I was in more kind of corporate roles, you kind of make it normal. And it's not until you come out of it that you suddenly feel the shift.
Yeah.
And then it's like you can relax.
You can breathe again, yeah. And I also find in corporate, a lot of women don't realize how powerful we really are. Like, I didn't realize my power in my industry until I left. And how women as a whole, we can change the face of how corporations look. And millennials are already doing it. Millennials are already changing how the business structure works. And I think that it's our voices as well, women as a whole, that can help change the environment, you know, being usually the primary caregivers of our children. How we can be productive and be creative and do amazing things in our businesses and for businesses without having to sacrifice what we've been sacrificing all these years.
Yeah. Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing now with fitness and yoga? I think it'd be nice to kind of find out you're this pioneer of yoga and fitness, and you're doing it online.
Yeah. So
how does that look?
Yeah, there are online streaming companies out there where you click on a video and then you follow along, or, you know, like you pop your DVD in and you do a workout. But this is different. This is actually a community I cater mostly to women, so a community of women where we all work out together in our own sacred spaces. So it could be at work, it could be at home, but we work out and we see each other, so it's live and interactive. It's just like going to the gym, but better, because you don't have to leave and go out in the cold. find a parking space, find your favorite spot on the gym floor, because we all know we're like that. And you don't need to find a babysitter. Your kids can be right there, especially for young moms with babies. Your baby can actually be right there as we work out. It's just, if you know your baby's going to cry or you're going to need to stop, you can just mute yourself. So we all see each other. So almost like this format, kind of like what we're doing right now. But we are sweating. And I have structured the classes in such a way to maximize your calorie burn and challenging your muscles, so that in a 1 hour class you can get everything out of it, and then go walk to the kitchen and make dinner, or have a snack, or play with the kids. And I call it a group fitness experience because it's not just online classes. I do actually have members only section where people can have access to videos and muscle training videos that they can do at any time. So yes, we have our scheduled classes where you show up and we work out live, but then there are additional classes that you can do during the week to help you move your body. It also includes sample meal plans, and it also includes accountability coaching. So I really, when I was doing boot camps and working at gyms, I realized how women or men, didn't matter, they needed someone on their side to just be like, hey, how you doing? Or are you coming to class today? And that is where my accountability coaching comes in. Anytime any one of my clients needs me, they have a question, they know they can always send me a message. But they also know that if they have said, yes, Kelly, I am going to show up to your 8:30 p.m. class on Tuesday and Thursday, and I've noticed they haven't signed up, they're going to get a text message or a call to see, hey, would you like me to put you in? I noticed you forgot to sign up. Would you like me to put you in on the schedule? And most of the time it was like, yeah, I was totally going to blow you off for no reason. I was just being lazy. Thank you. And I'm getting them to class, and that's what I want. That's what I want. I want people to show up. I want people to work out. I want them to walk away after a class being like, oh, yeah, thank you. And my yoga classes as well. So that's like the sweat side of things. But I also teach a couple of yoga classes during the week. One class that I teach is a 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time yin class, where we all show up in our pajamas.
I love that.
Yeah, and we gently stretch our body and really focus on slowing down and grounding ourselves so that we can get just the most delicious sleep that night. And it's really important that we take that time to slow down, and in the world that we are living in, everything is fast-paced. So to give yourself that 1 hour and you don't have to go anywhere, because the reason why I decided to move that class online is I had people coming into my class, and my 9 p.m. in studio class, and then they were laying there like, I don't want to go home, I just want to go to bed. I'm like, oh, that'd be a great idea. So you could just do this at home. We do it live. The classes are always different, so it's not the same thing. And then you can just roll off your mat and roll into bed. And then I also have a hatha class online where we do more yoga postures and really focus. How I teach yoga is really focused on using our breath to move our bodies, and how that affects, and how to use that to clear our mind.
Beautiful. And so I love that, some of the excuses I think I've used in the past around yoga were not finding a class at the right time.
Yep.
Or maybe not having anyone to go with, not knowing anybody, so that kind of thing. So, and the thing is that they're all excuses. But actually what you're doing is you're giving, taking those things away anyway, so you can do it in your own home. You're kind of with people, but you're not with people. There's no excuses, right?
Yeah.
And you've got that accountability. And I think accountability and support is so important for us. Often we've got all these great intentions of things that we want to do, and that if we haven't got that accountability and support, it's a struggle sometimes, So if we can get the accountability and the support, it's much easier to move forward.
Yeah, and I really believe in meeting people where they're at.
Yeah.
My classes are always structured in such a way that, a brand new beginner can walk in, but then, a triathlete that wants a good workout can also come. I cater to everyone because I remember being that person walking into a fitness class and it killed me. And I didn't do group fitness for the longest time because of that. I just hung out on the second floor, which was cardio machines and weights. Because the instructor there only taught to advanced people, but totally lost me. But I got healthy. And eventually became that advanced person. I could do that. Eventually I could do that class. But that's not how I want people to feel when they walk into my class. I want everyone, doesn't matter where they come from, can walk in, get a good workout, get a good yoga class, and really focus on the body that they brought into the studio, virtual or real, in that day, and focus on all the good things that they did for their body. So again, that's where the mindset kind of comes in again into a class. Because I have had people say to me, I can't do this. And I'm like, okay, well, what can you do? What is it that you can do? And you would be so surprised that all of a sudden that posture that they couldn't do, they're banging it out.
Yeah.
Because, they're looking at other people and they're saying, oh, that person's doing that. But then as soon as you look someone in the eye and say, well, what can you do? How does it feel in your body? All of a sudden, they're holding a posture that they couldn't do.
I love that. I think that's really powerful, not just, in yoga, but for life, because don't we spend so much time looking around and seeing what everyone else is doing and comparing ourselves and then, coming up with all the judgment and the shame. So I love that, what you're doing is helping people to let go of the shame and just be themselves and actually, do what they need to do and create the change they need to create, that they want to create. Yeah. Beautiful. So, Kelly, tell us a little bit about your free gift, because you've been very generous in terms of offering our listeners and our viewers a free gift. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I wanted to offer everyone a free week of online group fitness and yoga, the whole experience. So I'll send you the information, the link, and then they can register. And I will send them, everything is done digitally. So essentially they'll get a free pass digitally, and then they can go onto my schedule and just register for whatever class they want to try, and we will work out together and have fun. I would love to have like a huge group of your followers just there hanging out and having fun. That would be so much fun to have all these wealth goddesses all working out together.
Cool. And in that week, do you also have the some online classes? Not online classes, some recorded classes.
Yeah, so they'll have access. Yeah, they're
going
to have access to the members only section, which has a sample meal plan.
Yeah.
And has the recorded videos as well. They're about 20 minutes, so they're not as long as the hour. I usually keep about an hour class.
Yeah.
They're a little bit shorter so that you can fit them in.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the time zones.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter where in the world you are, you can take advantage of Kelly's fantastic offer of a free week of online live and interactive group fitness and yoga classes, and the recipes and the videos that you can access. So we'll make sure to give you the link on the website so you can check that out. And I've got a special link for those of you that are listening. So if you go to lovekimberly.com/Kelly, and you'll find the link there. Kelly, thank you so much. It's just been such fun connecting with you and hearing about your journey and your story and how you've empowered yourself and are inspiring and empowering other women and men to, you know, create that health and that vitality and live their purpose and the life that they love, really, because it's all about that, isn't it? It's all about that alignment. And so I love your story and your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So until we meet again, my darlings, much love, many blessings, and bye for now.
You've been listening to the Wealthy Business Goddess Show. If you've enjoyed the show, subscribe and review our podcast. Sign up to receive your Wealthy Business Goddess resources and join us in the Wealthy Business Goddess community at www.lovekimberly.com/WBG. To find out more about how Kimberly can support you in creating the life and business of your dreams, or to watch the show via video, visit the website at www.kimberlylovell.com.